a lot of requests for this video, so here it is, how to do a good back full. Now before we start, I'm going to acknowledge that I understand completely that different sports use different twisting styles. Some twist with your arms down, some twist wrapping it up here, some do a diver twist, arms out here, whatever, it's irrelevant. What's important are the fundamentals are the same. It doesn't matter what shape you twist in, it's actually how you get into that position. You can twist with your arms down, wrapped into your chest, above your head, diver style, or even Mickey Mouse ears if you really felt like it. First we'll briefly look at the physics and the biomechanics of how to twist, and naturally I'm going to get some people who don't understand the science of it telling me that's not how we do it in our sport. But this is how you do it, you just don't know it. So if you pay attention, you'll actually see that we're all doing the same thing, and once you understand how it works, it'll actually help you improve. There are 3 ways to create twists, some I've already mentioned in previous videos. The first one we'll look at is the contact twist. This is when you're in contact with an external force and push off it to either start or stop your twist. This is very useful and generates good twisting power, but the downside is whatever twisting energy you start with, you also finish with, which isn't so great for your knees when you land. Most people also start with wider arms and then bring them into their body when they twist. This action alone does absolutely nothing. It doesn't make you twist. But if you're already twisting, changing from a big shape to a small shape will accelerate the twist you've already got. I just wanted to explain this because I see a lot of people take off backwards, wrap their arms in and expect something to happen. That's just not how it works. Cat twist. This is the hula hooping action of your hips where you manipulate your body around your center of gravity to create a twist. This can be done by changing from tuck, pike or straddle into a straight shape and twisting your hips around in the process. It's usually only good for about a half twist and it works better when you're rotating than when you're doing upright moves. Swivel hips is a perfect example of a cat twist, as well as tucked and pike baranis. Tilt twist. As mentioned in the Barani video, tilt twist is about moving your arms down to the sides of your body to tilt your body off axis. This tilt then creates a twist, basically to stabilize your body as it flips through the air. And when you reverse the movement, your body comes back on axis and the twist stops. The rules for tilt twisting when you're in a backward rotation are as follows. If you're a left twister, you drop your left arm first, and if you're a right twister, you drop your right arm first. Now the tilt twist will only work when you're actually rotating forwards or backwards because it transfers energy from your flip into the twist. Ideally you would only use tilt twist, but most sports don't have the time to make the exaggerated movements, so what you're really looking for is the perfect combination of all 3 techniques to give you the most efficient and fastest twist for you. To create a tilt twist, you have to drop your arms perpendicular to your axis of rotation. So if I'm flipping this direction, I have to drop my arms to the sides this way to create a twist. So if you can imagine it as a cross on the ground, if you're flipping in this plane here, which is the flipping plane, you have to drop your arms out in the twisting plane to the sides. When you're creating a tilt twist to get the most power, you want to drop your arms as far away from your body as possible because it's a longer lever away from your center of rotation. Now some athletes don't need that much power when they twist, so you'll see gymnasts, for example, take off and just wrap straight into here. But if you were to extend their arms out straight, you'll see that it's actually a tilt twist. They're just using shorter levers. See, I told you, we all do the same stuff. In an ideal world, I would simply get a takeoff and drop my arm to the side and the twist would happen with the most power because I've dropped it at this length in the twisting plane away from my body. But unfortunately, people don't do that. Everyone usually contact twists off the ground, gets a little bit ahead of the twist. So if I drop my arm to the side and I'm a little bit ahead of the twist, my arm is only this long in the twisting plane, so you're losing a lot of power even though you've done the exact same action. But there's an easy way to fix this. All you have to do is you bring it a little bit further in front of your body to get the maximum lever, and therefore the full amount of power from your twist. If you want to twist faster as well as bringing your first arm in the right position, when your second arm comes down, you put it in the same twisting plane and that will accelerate your twist into 2 or 3 if that's what you're going for. And that leads us to the drills. But before you attempt a backfull, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is that you have solid basics, like front tucks, pikes, layouts, and baranis in all of these shapes, as well as back tuck, pike, and layout, because having good control of your rotation is very important when it comes to twisting. Front drop to back drop. Push off the tramp and really try and get your arms above your head. Pull your feet under your body to help lead the rotation, and this is much harder than it looks. Back drop to front drop. Create the power from your heels as you take off and hold a tight, long body shape as you come over the top. Half turn to front drop. Get the feeling of taking off with your arms up and then starting to twist as you rotate backwards. Make sure you're not diving into the tramp, but rather taking it up and then twisting. You'll need to use a little bit of contact twist, some cat twist, and also some tilt twist. Half turn to back drop. Again, trying to take your body up and into the twist before breaking form to land. This one is a combination of all of the twisting techniques, but once again, it's just trying to help you learn how to control your body in space. 3/4 front layout. In a back full, your body will be rotating backwards and also forwards, so this is to ensure that you can continue your rotational power even when you're at the half twist point. I would definitely recommend getting someone to throw in a mat for you, or doing this into a pit because it's a little bit awkward. Cradle half. This one we looked at more in depth in the Barani video, but here again, try and mostly use tilt twist, but also make it smooth and not too robotic. Front drop cruise. Push off the tramp, lift your arms up first, then create some twist using tilt and a little bit of cat twist. This skill is really about pulling your feet underneath you to keep the rotation going. Full twist to back. Start by just dropping one arm to the side and pulling down to your back, and then drop both arms. The second arm follows in the same place as the first one. You'll land a little bit crooked, but that's fine because you've tilted yourself off axis, which is correct. Don't worry about untilting this move yet, this is just a drill. Rudy cradle. Rudy meaning 1.5 twists. Use one arm drop to half twist to your feet, and then bring the second arm down to full twist to your back as already practiced. Then just repeat the same timing without putting your feet down. It's easier said than done, but with a good body shape and efficient drops, it's not too complicated. Front drop cruise full. This is a really difficult skill. Make sure you get your arms up first, then use really efficient arm drops to get the twist happening. Make sure your feet are continually pulling underneath your body so the rotation doesn't die off. Half turn to crash dive or sabaka. This skill really gives you the feel for the first part of a back full and helps you focus on keeping your feet with you throughout the skill. You can build up to this by starting with back 3/4 layouts, trying to keep a nice long straight body. Again, it's best if someone throws a mat under you. And once you're comfortable with those, add a bit more rotation so you can keep your arms up the whole time, and once you're upside down, drop one arm to the side to create a half twist. This is tricky because you don't see the ground, but it will increase your feel for being upside down and twisting. Then, using a bit of contact, cat and tilt twist, you can take off into a high sabaka. Back layout, obviously a necessary skill here. You're aiming for arms up on takeoff and a long straight shape in the air. And when I say straight, I mean straight, not a banana shape and not a scoop shape. Big floaty layouts will make your first fulls much easier. Front layout. Keep a nice straight and tall shape, generating rotation from your heels. Landing front layout sets you up for the next drill, which is a back layout with a half twist. Definitely need a soft landing for this skill, and it's just a back layout with an arm drop. The same feeling as the build up to a sabaka, just now with enough power to make it to your feet, which you've now practiced with your perfect back layouts. And that finally brings us to the back full. Set a layout, drop your arm in the right position, and with what we've now practiced, your body should spin nicely. To start with, you can just drop one and see how far it spins, and then you can start to make it look nice. You will twist faster the more power you put into the arm drops. I hope I've explained all of this well enough to help you learn it properly so it actually looks like you know what you're doing, and help to answer any questions as to why you might be struggling with it. The reason most people have trouble twisting is because they either don't use the tilt planes and just wrap up and hope that it'll spin, or when they do drop their arms, they miss the planes altogether. Another problem is twisting in the wrong shape. Now the best shape to twist in is a straight, tight shape. Anything that deviates from this shape will slow you down. That includes people who tuck their head in too far when they twist, or arch into their fulls, or get ahead of their twist and it segments their body. It's just going to slow you down. Same with twisting in a loose shape. A loose body won't respond as well as a tight one, so for the best twist and the maximum power, a straight, square, tight shape, getting the most leverage from the twist planes. Now to undo a twist, you have to reverse the action that it took to get into it, and that's a whole other video of explanation. But basically, if I drop my left arm to get into the twist, to undo it, I would lift it back up in the same spot. Or alternatively, drop my right arm on the other side because that's the opposite action and it will cancel out the twist. Most people's bodies naturally figure out how to undo the twist, but if you have any questions, please comment and I'll be happy to answer them. So until then, thanks for watching and good luck.